Welcome back to another episode of the Ink and Impact podcast. I am excited to be here with you in another month, the month of May, which happens to be Personal History Awareness Month. I don't know if you know that's a thing, but it really is. I became aware of it many, many years ago when I first started my business as a commissioned biographer. And the company Lasting Legacies I founded out of that, and still continue to do that. I continue to be privileged to help individuals write their life stories. So yes, today I just wanted to bring that awareness to you because I'm a firm believer that everyone has a life story worth writing. Regardless of your age or your writing ability, we all have a story worth sharing and passing on, especially to our family and loved ones. Do we all need to publish and put it out there on Amazon? No, I don't believe that. Some people might give me flack for that, but I don't believe that. I think there is a difference between privately publishing and publishing to sell a book. And we can dig into that in another episode. That's not the whole purpose of today. But I just wanted to bring that awareness to you because even if you don't feel ready to write your life story, we all have a loved one that we can encourage to write their life story, right? We have Mother's Day coming up, we have Father's Day coming up. We are constantly trying to think of gifts to give them. Why not encourage them to share their life story? And if they aren't writers, offer to record them sharing stories, right? We all have a cell phone that has a recording capability on it. You don't have to go out and buy, big fancy equipment if you don't want to or you don't have the money, but start preserving those memories. You're going to treasure them later and you will not regret doing that. And so because I was thinking through that and it's my line of business, I was revamping one of my opt-ins that I offer individuals who are interested in writing a life story. And so then that took me down the rabbit trail of all the things I had to do behind the scenes, right? And I got to thinking, maybe I should do a podcast episode on how to create an opt-in. Now, if you've been listening for any amount of time, well, for a long time, actually, you might recall that back in season 1, I did an episode on creating an opt-in, but that was for fiction writers. And that was specifically about how to create a short story opt-in. This one today, I'm going to share the 5 steps of creating an opt-in for a nonfiction audience. So with all of that, I am going to dive in. All right, so the first thing that we are going to want to do is obviously come up with the opt-in idea. What are we going to offer our readers, our clients, our audience, whoever we're serving? What are we going to offer them? What is that thing? It might be a PDF. It might be a checklist. It might be a quiz. There are so many different things that you could offer to your particular target market. The sky's the limit, really. It's how much time you want to put into it, how much effort you want to put into it. For today's purposes, I'm going to talk about a simple PDF. I personally created a guide that I called Life Story 101, a 4-step guide to help you write a lasting legacy. So that's what I created. And so I turned it into a simple PDF. So how did I do that? Well, first of all, I went to my wonderful friend Canva.com. If you are not familiar with Canva, I highly encourage you to become familiar with it. They offer a wealth of design, templates, photos, videos, all of that. So you don't have to keep searching in different places. And they make it so easy. By using their templates, you just change the titles or the wording, but you can customize it however much you want or however little you want. I use it for my social graphic images. I use it for these opt-ins. I used it for presentations, to create presentations. Instead of using PowerPoint, I've used Canva. There are really so many different things that I haven't even tried yet that they offer. I personally recommend that if you have the budget to use the professional or the premium version of it because you get so many more images and videos and graphics that you will use. And it's really not that expensive. Go to canva.com and look at their pricing guidelines, and you'll see it right there. So that's the first place I go when I'm going to create an opt-in is I go to Canva. Then I design it, I tweak it, I play around with it, I do tests, right? I print it out, I look at it, I send it to a trusted friend a lot of times, have them review it. Does this make sense? And then when I know that that is the finished version that I'm going to do, then I'm going to save it as the PDF. And they'll give you options if you wanted to save it as a movie or as a static image. But for a guide, multiple pages, something that you're going to offer to your audience, I recommend the PDF. That way they can't change it on their end. A PDF restricts that in most cases. But I will say that when you're naming it, you're saving it as a PDF. So in that save section, make sure that whatever you name your file is going to make sense to your recipient. So a lot of times Canva will automatically just create a title for it if you don't plug one in there, and it might not make sense to the reader. Make sure you put the title of that document so that it makes sense when the recipient downloads it. As soon as they see it, they'll see the title, then it will remind them what that is, because you want them to open it, right? That's the whole point. Make it easy for them to find it on their computer and open it. So we've designed it on Canva, we've saved it as a PDF. Now we have to find a place to store it. What I recommend is either Google Drive or Dropbox. I personally use Dropbox. And so that's where I'm going to store my finished file, my PDF. But I'm not going to send people directly to that file. Whether you're using Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever, it'll give you a link that you can send to people, but you don't want to do that. Why? Because you want to be able to get their email address. The whole point of an opt-in is to get them on your email list. So don't just give them the direct link and they can download the file and you have no idea who they are, or however many people have downloaded, you won't have any idea. So that link, you're going to take that from Dropbox or Google Drive and put that inside of your landing page or your web form that you're going to create in your email service provider, whether that's MailChimp or ConvertKit or MailerLite. I personally use MailerLite. And so you're going to go in there, you're going to create whether you want a landing page, a standalone, kind of like a website, but it's just a one-pager that attracts your audience, and they plug in their name and their email address, and then they click the button, and then that adds them to your email list. And then in that first email sequence, because you're going to want to set up an automation, in that first automation that they receive, then you provide them with that link to get your free resource, your free PDF, or whatever it might be. So again, we're going to come up with an idea. We're going to create it on Canva. We're going to save it as a PDF and name it appropriately. Then you're going to store it, Google Drive, Dropbox, and then you're going to copy link and put it in your landing page or the form that you're going to put on your website, or both. You can do both. And that way you're going to collect email addresses. And after they submit that form, then you're going to have an email drip sequence, an automation that will email them that link to get the PDF. And then the fifth step is promote it. You've done all this work to create your free resource. Don't just let it sit there. Make sure you tell other people about it. Talk about it on social media, post images and talk about it. How's it going to serve them? How's it going to help them? Don't just say, here's my thing. Explain how it's going to help them. Make it enticing. And also in your link in bio, make sure you have an offer there for it, a place for them to just simply link, especially if you're using Instagram, that they don't allow URLs in the posts. Of course, you can in the stories. If you didn't know that, you can put direct links in your stories in Instagram. So be sure to do that as well. Send out to your newsletter list. Your existing newsletter subscribers might want this new resource as well, so let them know. And everywhere that you market your writing, be sure to share your free resource. Let me know some of the places that you promote your opt-ins. I would love to hear that. You can email me at info at inkанdimpact.com. You can DM me on Instagram. I would love to connect with you over there. And yes, I would just really love to know what you're creating. I'd love to know more about who's listening to this podcast, because that's the downfall about being on the airwaves. You can hear me, but I don't know who's listening. And I would love to get a feel for my audience and what serves you best. And as always, if you have any suggestions for future topics, please let me know that as well. I welcome those and we'll be happy to work those into future episodes. It's short and sweet today, folks. That's all I have for you today. I hope that it was helpful, and I wish you a blessed week and happy writing. Take care.